Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Today I want to have a talk with you about chanting, about praying. Why we pray in Buddhism, okay? What difference between our praying, our chanting, the other praying, the other religion? You see, our teacher Sakyamuni Buddha taught us self-dependence, self-reliance. We don't pray like our religion to ask for a favor, to ask for benediction. I pray God, I pray something to get something, like an exchange. I offer you something, ask for your favor. In Buddhism, not that way. Buddha never teach us to ask for him to bless you or ask the Bodhisattva to bless you. You bless yourself. You help yourself. That's the reason why you pray or you chant it. It's a totally self-dependence. You pray, you chant it, just to see that you are a good person, you are a valuable person, you have a Buddha nature, and you cultivate this quality, so you elevate yourself. He never say that, you pray to me, you pray to Bodhisattva, I grant you something, I give you health, I give you name and fame. No, he never say that. Everything you do from yourself. Like he said in his teaching, he said, one thing you need to remember, he said, like you go in the darkness, get a torch, you light and guide yourself the way to go. You shouldn't go the wrong way. Like when you see the moon, the hand to show you the moon, then look at the hand, the finger, it's the mean, or that's the goal of education. That's the moon, the goal. You look at the moon. So when we study the Dharma or the chanting, then look the text, then look at the book as the one you have to see it. The one is the goal of the teaching of the chanting or the praying is to elevate yourself, to see your true nature. Your true nature, that's your Buddha nature. Your intrinsic value. You see it because usually we don't see. We see what we see is the wrong eye, the I, the fake ourselves. Okay, we think it's a real. Okay, I body, my body, or me or I. It's real. The real one is the inner self, the true inner self, the true self. It's difficult to see, to explore. You have to study. You have to look and discover your true self. How to discover your true self? It takes time. It takes for you look at the good in look to find your true self. Okay? So chanting in Buddhism is not praying, it's not asking for favor or do some routine by superstition. You do superstition, I pray, so Buddha bless me, Bodhisattva bless me. No, you bless yourself. You do everything for yourself because you are so valuable. You have a true nature, your Buddha nature. You don't ask for any benediction. You don't ask for any favor. Especially, Buddha didn't say that because you see this one. Like tell one example. In one long time before, when Buddha is still alive, okay, and one poor lady, she's beggar. She go out, she beg for 1 cent. She buy 1 cent oil. She light the lamp, and the lamp burn for forever, never turn off. So the people ask the Buddha, why this lady, she feed the lamp with the oil, and it burned for forever. Why the billionaire, he buy the oil for the lamp, he have to refill all the time. Buddha say, because she's a valuable person. She's a very good person. Her Buddha nature, everything, and her devotion, her belief in that, so the light just never turn off. The rich people, the billionaire people, they make the money, but a lot of time it's not the clean money. So they have to feed it again, the light. So get the light keep burning. Okay, that's the difference between that. So when you study Buddhism, you study the quintessence of Buddhism. Okay, you don't believe what I said or Master Quang said. You have to believe yourself. You study, you discover, you find it yourself. We help you indirectly, but directly you have to help yourself. You cultivate yourself. Okay. So some people ask, oh, how long you been monk? Some people they brag, oh, I've been monk for 60 years, 70 years. That means nothing. I tell them, you just eat out of the temple. You are like a parasite. People, they feed you. They give you room and board. You do nothing. You're not practicing. You're not cultivating. So they asked me, how long is that? I said, I don't know. I have to ask myself how I cultivate myself, how I do it to deserve the name of a monk. Okay? So I tell Master Quang said, try to be a good monk. That's all you need. And I like his writing. He tells writing why he become a monk. Okay? He said he gave up everything to get the monastic life. Why that? That's his vocation. He said maybe his last life he was a monk, so he continued to be a monk to fulfill his vocation. He wanted to be a monk the rest of his life. Give up everything, like a Buddha. Prince Siddhartha, he was a prince, okay? And he's raised to become emperor, okay? He had everything. He have a good wife, pretty wife. He have a son. He got everything. He gave up to become a poor monk. Why is that, ancient? People think, why you do that? The foolish thing. He gave everything to become a poor monk. And he go out to beg food for himself. He didn't have a place to stay. He stay under the tree, the Bodhi tree, okay? He sit on hay, okay? And the dry hay, dry herb, grass, he sit on that. It's a very simple life. And in exchange to the luxury life before. Why that? Because he want to discover his true self. He become an awakened person, so become a Buddha. So when I read the writing of Master Quang Chi, I like it. I like it. This man, he see the light. He discovered that himself. He didn't become a monk because of me or anything, because himself. Okay? He find it. He discovered himself, his true self. That's amazing. So it's good, So we see the difference between Buddhism. A lot of other religions never ask you for idolatry, for worshipping, okay? You don't worship Buddha. You don't worship, like Buddha said that the practice Buddhism is not worshipping Buddha. It's not bowing. It's not giving donation. It's the practice yourself, okay? You practice it. You try to discover yourself. Try to find your true self, okay? Your intrinsic value. That's a practice. And the practice, what it means? Service to all the people, okay? Like many people, like I said, like the elder Quang Minh Leon Bryan, okay? He served the temple. It's not for me. It's not for Max Quang Chi. It's not for himself. He do it for the other people. He think about that the way he practice it. He spend the money, the time, the effort, everything, just to serve the people. Like you see in this country, what a democracy. The democracy that we, the people, that's the power. It's not the president. It's not the emperor. What is the president? He's a public servant. He's a servant to we, the people. That's true democracy. Not like the other people, the other country. He thinks the president, he's the power. He like a divinity. He want to govern. The true president, he's a servant. He serve who? We the people. We the people, that's the power. That's the democracy. That's the difference between democracy and dictatorship. They just believe they are born to be king, to be president. They want to be it, to be himself. That myself, I'm I. And the true president, I serve we the people. So that's the difference. That's the true democracy. It was so good, so happy we have democracy again. And this country, even it's young country compared to other country, but we have the longest democracy in the world, over 300 years democracy. So it's the first democracy and longest democracy. We are the example. We are the light, the torch to guide the other democracy. That's the true democracy. Okay? So Buddhism the same way. When you study Buddhism, you have to understand Buddhism. Buddhism is a very, very beautiful religion. But what Buddha teach you, have a self-confidence, self-reliance, self-dependence. You trust yourself. You trust you have the true value. That's your Buddha nature. You have to go discover it yourself. Nobody can help you. You, Master Quang cannot help you to discover his truth. He guide you. He help you. But you have to help yourself. We have to study it, to find it, to find the beauty of Buddhism, to say what is beautiful in Buddhism, what Buddha teach you, how he teach you, how we have to do it to be a practitioner of Buddhism. Okay? It's no idolatry. It's no superstition. Okay? That's a true study. When I go to school, some people go to school, they're sick to go to school. But some people go to school, they love education. They want to become an educated person. So later on, he or she can go back to help the other student to study and to help them and to help society, to serve society. That's the goal of education. Not to have a piece of paper, the diploma, the certificate. It's not education. It's something you accumulate it. You use it later on to serve. That's the goal of education. So Buddhism, the same thing. Okay? You study Buddhism to benefit yourself and then turn around, transfer the merit, everything you get it to all the people. Transfer the merit to your loved one, to your father, to your mother, your family, your loved one. And then the next step, transfer the people you don't know, the neutral people. Lastly, to the people who are not good to you before. In the past, they antagonize you. I don't think you have enemy, but somebody they're not good in the past, you help them to make them awaken. Okay? Help them. That's the goal of practicing Buddhism. It's so pretty, it's so beautiful. So why we chant? They're different, like the repentance too. Okay? Repentance different from confession. Confession, the other religion, okay? You thought you make a mistake, you go to confess to the Father, but you think the Father probably is not as good as yourself. And you confess to that man, you want him to forgive you. You have no authority to forgive you. You have to forgive yourself. So what's the repentance of Buddhism? Repentance Buddhism is you acknowledge you make a mistake. You acknowledge I make a mistake. You promise yourself, I never repeat that mistake in the future. I never repeat it. That's repentance. So you change it. You transform yourself, become a better person. Now I know that in the past I make the mistake. I acknowledge that I make the mistake. It's not good to make a mistake. So positively, he said, I change it. I promise myself, I never do it again. That's repentance. Okay? Nobody force you. You don't have to go to Buddha or Bodhisattva, ask for forgiveness. They don't forgive you. You forgive yourself. Okay? So that's the difference. So in Buddhism, it's very positive. Everything positive. Buddha say this one thing you have to remember. I'm the Buddha. You are the Buddha in the future. He didn't say that. I'm the only one and become a Buddha. I'm the deity. I'm the number one. He never said that. He said, I'm a Buddha. You can be Buddha like me. If you do the same thing like me, if you practice like me, you have effort like me, you become Buddha. Okay? So we see that the difference in Buddhism. Everything from you. The self-confidence, self-reliance, self-dependence. Do it. Practice it. Be a good person. So I tell Master Quang Chi said, be a good monk. I don't care the title you have. You can have title most venerable. That doesn't mean anything. Most venerable or less venerable, they are the same. Become a monk. Okay? Become a monk. And some monk, some very well-known monk, and they asked me, people asked that monk, that's the most reputable monk. He said, who are you? I said, oh, I'm a novice. I just started to practice. I just started, study. I still try to learn it. I still try to practice it. He never said that I'm the most venerable. He didn't say that. He forget about the title. He said, I'm the novice. Okay? And so very humble. Very, very humble. Okay? Like a lot of doctors, I practice medicine, I'm a doctor. I say some guy, some of my colleague, he go in the hospital, he make round, he tell the patient, oh, I'm the best doctor in the world. I laugh at him, I said, you fool yourself. Who tell you you're the best doctor in the world? That's if you fool yourself. If they ask me, I said, I'm a regular doctor. I try to learn, to practice my profession, and I learn every day. I try to improve myself. If something I don't know, I said, I don't know. I didn't fool myself. I said, I know everything. No. I said something I know, something I don't know. If I don't know, I consult another doctor. I ask somebody better than me, I consult them. Or I refer them to something better than me, I refer it. But I didn't say that I'm the best in the world, I'm a good doctor. I fool myself. So I tell that doctor, I said, if you look at the mirror, it's ridiculous. You look at your face, you fool yourself. You'll never be the best doctor in the world. Who tell you the best? Even the dean of school of medicine, the full professor, the chairman of the department, he dare not say he's the best doctor in the world. And how, but a regular doctor, he go to claim I'm the best plastic surgeon. So my patient, he get very furious. He said, Dr. Do, I want to throw him out of my room. I want to punch his face. He gets so scared. He asked me, he said, your patient is so violent. I said, no, he's not violent. He's an intelligent guy. You fool yourself. You tell him you're the best plastic surgeon in the world. You make him, you insult his intelligence. So he get mad. He want to punch you. Because you fool. If you tell them, I'm the plastic surgeon, and Dr. Do consult me, I want to see you. I try to do what he can do to help you. That's acceptable. But to tell them, come in, introduce yourself, I'm best plastic surgeon in the world. It might irritate him because he's an intelligent man. He didn't accept that foolishness from you, okay? You fool yourself. So we tell him that next time, you need to learn. You don't know how to say. You just tell him, I'm a regular doctor. I'm a normal doctor. Something I do good, something I don't do good, but I try. It's better. People accept better. Okay? So when you practice Buddhism, that honesty, integrity, modesty, humility is better. Okay? You see, a humble monk, modest monk is better than the arrogant monk. He said, oh, I practice 60, 70 years. That means nothing. That means nothing, That doesn't mean that he's a good monk. So I always tell Master Quang Chi, I said, be a good monk. That's all. Okay? Try it. Every day, try to be a good monk. And I like the way he practiced. I don't have to tell him. In the early morning, he practiced. In the evening, he practiced it. He do it himself because he know what he learned. Okay? You're a good student. You go to school, you love to study because you want to study. It's not your mother, your father force you to go to school. They help you. They nurture you. They feed you. They pay the money for you, buy book, buy everything to help you to study. But you want to study. You have a desire to study. You love to study. That's all. Okay? So Buddhism the same way. Okay? We practice because we love Buddhism. We understand how beautiful is Buddhism. And Buddha say two things you remember. It's a blessing to be born as a human being. You're a human being, you have potential, you have capability to improve yourself, to elevate yourself. The second blessing to meet the Dharma, to have a opportunity to chant, to learn a beautiful Buddhism. Okay? That's all. I talked to you today, the practice. So think about practice the good way, the right way. Okay? Trust yourself, believe yourself, depend on yourself. Okay? Three methodology you learn in Buddhism. The first one, listening, reading. Get the data. Okay? Assimilate on these things. But then accept as it, accept with reflection. Somebody I say or your master say, don't believe 100%. Maybe we have a bias, we have prejudice and that, okay, we talk to this. Use your judgment, your human intelligence to evaluate it, to investigate, to study more, read a little bit more, to see we make sense to you. It's acceptable to you. It's acceptable to you. You study a little bit more, develop it, assimilate it, okay? And after that, what you have to do? Apply it, practice it. If you study without practicing, it's a waste of time. You just study the theory, like a musician, like Elder Quang Leon. He's a musician. He studied music theory, but he played. He practiced it. He loved music. So he developed the skill, the fingering. So he became a good musician. He enjoyed the music. The thing he played is not for the other people. He enjoyed it. So the same thing you practice Buddhism. You enjoyed it. You like it. You believe in it. You practice it. Okay? But you have to practice it. Practice goes hand in hand with the study. Study without practice is a waste of time. You carry a big bag of book, it's heavy. You don't benefit from that. But practice without studying, like a blind faith, okay? You never develop that. It's have a difference between intelligent faith and blind faith. Intelligent faith, you believe in something, but your intelligence, you have a human intelligence. You evaluate it to see it's right for you to believe it, to practice it. Because blind faith is a practice because somebody tells you to practice. They tell you that, oh, you practice, you have the favor, you have a benediction, you have something that somebody bless you. On the name of that, you practice, I bless you. And that's a blind faith, okay? It's different from intelligent faith. So that's my talk today about the chanting, about the praying. Do it every day. Make a routine. Like the musician, he play every day. He just doesn't play once a month and he said he's a musician. No. Musician, he play every day because he enjoy it. He like it. So the practitioner in Buddhism the same way. Practice every day. Quality is time, okay? Give yourself half an hour a day, 15 minutes a day, quality time. But do it. That way, make a good routine, a good habit, okay? That is my talk today. If you have any question, I try to answer your question. If I have no question, we transfer the merit, we go chanting. We have one new friend, she come today, it's Debbie, she's a nurse, she's RN. We welcome you to our practice, okay? You're very welcome, okay? And we practice together, we benefit. We call ourselves Sangha, okay? Sangha is the group of practitioners we practice together called Sangha. They have two concepts. One, the Hyana or Theravada, they don't count the layperson as a Sangha. They don't count the nun as a Sangha. Only the man, the monk, Sangha. It's a little narrow meaning. But in the Mahayana, the one we practice, everybody practice, all the practitioners belong to the Sangha. The monastic, the monk, the nun, the lay person, everybody belong to Sangha. So you are the Sangha. We practice together. We help each other. We study together. Okay? Something we know, we are monk or nun, we help you. The reason why we help you, because it's our profession as monk or nun, we need to study. We study more, we practice for life. So we have little more knowledge. We help you. And that way we can study together, help each other. Okay? If no question, we transfer the merit, we go chanting. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha. Any positive karmic action we accomplished today, you want to transfer to everybody and wish them the enlightenment. Now we go to inviting the bell.
Speech and mind in perfect oneness, I send my heart along with the sound of the. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Listen, listen, this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. Gratitude we offer this incense to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout space and time. May it be fragrant as earth herself, reflecting our careful efforts, our wholehearted mindfulness, and the fruit of understanding. Slowly ripening, may we and all beings be companions of Buddha and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home. In the censer now is burning all the Dharma realm, in every place auspicious appearing, our sincere intention thus fulfilling, as all Buddhas now show their perfect body. Homage to the incense cloud canopy Bodhisattva and great Bodhisattvas. to the eternally abiding Buddhas, the supreme Dharma, and sagely Sangha, Dharma realm and the realm of empty space, and 3 periods of time. To the fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha, Maitreya, honored future Buddha, Manjushri, great wisdom Bodhisattva, universal great conduct Bodhisattva, all Dharma guarding Deva Bodhisattvas, and the magic mountain assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. To Amitabha Buddha in the land of ultimate Avalokiteshvara, great compassion Bodhisattva, great strength Bodhisattva, earth-stored great vow Bodhisattva, and the assembly of great pure sea-like Bodhisattvas.
Great commercial mantra with 1,000 hands, 1,000 eyes, running.
Namo Ratnatrayaya, Namo Arya Avalokitesvaraya, Bodhisattvaya, Mahasattvaya, Mahakarunikaya, Om Savadavati, Sudanastasya, Namaskritva Namanarya, Avalokitesvaralantaba, Namo Nilakanta, Shri Mahapatashami, Sarvadata Shubham, Ashiyom, Sarvasattva Namo Pastava Namo Bhagamabhatetu Tadyata Om Avalokalokyate Kalati Ishiri Mahabodhisattva Sabo Sabo Mara Mara Mashi Mashi Hridayo Goro Goro Gamyan Doro Doro Bashyati Mahabashyati Dara Dara Dirini Shvaraya Jara Jara Mahabamara Mudhalehi Shina Shina Alashin Balashari Shabasnin Barashaya Horo Horo Pra Horo Horo Shri Sara Sara Siri Siri Soro Soro Bodhaya 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 Maitreya Nilakansa Drisharana Vayamane Swaha Sitaya Swaha Mahasitaya Swaha Sitaya Shvaraya Swaha Nilakanti Swaha Shisamahokaya Swaha Sarva Mahasataya Swaha Chakrahastaya Swaha Padmakesaya Swaha Nilakantam Pantalaya Swaha Mofodi Shankaraya Swaha Namo Ratnatrayaya Namo Harya Avalokite Shavaraya Swaha Om Siryanto Mantra Pataya Swaha. Body is bringing morning light and concentration. My heart is at peace. A half smile is born on my. This is a new day, and I vow to go through it in mindfulness. The sun of wisdom has risen, shining in every direction. Noble Sangha, diligently bring your mind into meditation. Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya. Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya. Namo Shakyamunaye Buddhaya. Who bows and the one who is bowed to are both by nature empty. Therefore the communication between them is inexpressibly Our practice center is the net of Indra, reflecting all everywhere as my own person reflects in all Buddhas, to whom with my whole life I go for refuge. Ring light in the 10 directions, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, to whom we bow in gratitude. Living the way of awareness in the very midst of suffering and confusion. Shakyamuni Buddha, the awakened one, to whom bowing gratitude. Through ignorance awakening our hearts and our minds, Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of great understanding, to whom we bow in gratitude. Mindfully working joyfully for the sake of all beings, Samantabhadra, the Bodhisattva of great action, to whom we bow in gratitude. To suffering, serving beings in countless ways, Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of great compassion, to whom we bow in gratitude. Awakening and loving kindness in children, sprouts, and all beings, Maitreya, the Buddha, to be born, to whom we bow in gratitude. fearlessly and compassionately the stream of all our ancestral teachers to whom we bow in gratitude. Dharma is deep and lovely. We now have a chance to see it and practice. We vow to realize its true meaning. Sattva Avalokita, while moving in the deep course of perfect understanding, shed light on the five skandhas and found them equal. After this penetration, he overcame ill-being. Listen, Shariputra, form is emptiness, emptiness is form, form is not other than emptiness is not other than form. The same is true with feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They are neither produced, destroyed, neither defiled nor immaculate, neither increasing nor decreasing. Therefore, in emptiness there is neither form nor feelings, no perceptions nor mental formations nor consciousness, no eye or ear or nose or tongue or body or mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no touch, no object of mind, no realms of elements, no interdependent origins, and no extinction. Being, no cause of ill-being, no end of ill-being, and no path, no understanding, no attainment, because there is no attainment. The Bodhisattva's ground in perfect standing, find no obstacles for their minds. Having no obstacles, they overcome fear, liberating themselves forever from illusion and realize perfect nirvana. All Buddhas in the past, present, and future arrive at full right, universal enlightenment. Therefore, one should know that perfect understanding is the highest mantra, the unequaled mantra, the destroyer of ill-being, the incorruptible truth. The mantra of Prajna Paramit should therefore be proclaimed. Gate gate para gate para samgate bodhi swaha gate gate para gate para samgate bodhi swaha gate gate para gate para samgate bodhi swaha.
Invoking the Bodhisattva's name, we invoke
your name, Avalokiteshvara. We aspire to learn your way of listening in order to help relieve the suffering in the world. You know how to listen in order to understand. We invoke your name in order to practice listening with all our attention and open-heartedness. We will sit and listen without any prejudice. We will sit and listen without judging or reacting. We will sit and listen in order to understand. We will sit and listen so attentively that we will be able to hear what the other person is saying and also what is being left unsaid. We know that just by listening deeply, we already alleviate a great deal of pain and suffering in the other person. Your name, Manjushri, we aspire to learn your way, which is to be still and to look deeply into the heart of things and into the hearts of. We will look with all our attention and open-heartedness. We will look with unprejudiced eyes. We will look without judging or reacting. We will look deeply so that we will be able to see and understand the roots of suffering through the impermanent and selfless nature of all that. We will practice your way of using the sword of understanding to cut through the bonds of suffering, ourselves and other species. Invoke your name, Samanta Bhadra. We aspire to practice your vow to act with the eyes and heart of compassion, to bring joy to one person in the morning and to ease the pain of one person in the afternoon. We know that the happiness of others own happiness, and we aspire to practice joy on the path of service. We know that every word, every look, every action, and every smile can bring happiness to us. We know that if we practice wholeheartedly, we ourselves may become an inexhaustible source of peace and joy for our loved ones and for all species. Your name, Kshitigarbha, we aspire to learn your way of being present where there is darkness, suffering, oppression, and despair, so we can bring light, hope, liberation to those places. We are determined not to forget about or abandon those in desperate situations. We'll do our best to establish contact with those who cannot find a way out of their suffering, those whose cries for help, justice, equality, and human rights are not being heard. We know that help can be found in many places on earth. We will do our best to contribute, help transform the hells that already exist. We will practice in order to realize the qualities of perseverance and stability, so that like the earth we can always be supported in need.
Bow together, the three refugees. I
take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. In the refuge of Buddha, I clearly see the path of light and beauty. In the world, dwelling in the refuge of Dharma, I learn to open many doors on the path of transformation. Dwelling in the refuge of Sangha, shining light thus supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction. refuge in the Buddha. In myself I aspire to help all people recognize their own awakened nature, realizing the mind of love, taking refuge in myself. I aspire to help all people fully master the ways of practice and walk together on the path of liberation, taking refuge in the Sangha. In myself I aspire to help all people build fourfold community, to embrace all beings and support their transformation.
Sharing the merit.
Reciting the sutras, practicing the way of awareness gives rise to benefits without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support along the path.